evening. My name is Alina M. Lau, and thank you for joining me in the News Clinic. Tonight's topic, the elections, but probably not the one you're thinking of. This one specifically affects my home state of California. As America takes to the polls on Tuesday, November 6th to vote for president, California will also have a few of our own things to consider, like Prop 37, the labeling of genetically engineered foods initiative. Sounds simple enough, right? And for once, it is. Prop 37 takes aim at food manufacturers and conglomerates such as Monsanto, DuPont, Bayer, all of which are biotech companies posing as food producers. It'll force these manufacturers to simply add more detail to existing food labels and prevent them from calling their foods natural. Monsanto, the biggest contributor to the campaign against Prop 37, are also the same wonderful people that created Agent Orange. Widely used during the Vietnam War, of course, Agent Orange is an herbicide used to kill off foliage in crops, and there is sufficient evidence that prolonged exposure to this chemical causes some cancers. A recent study on lab rats that were fed Monsanto's genetically modified corn developed tumors, and we wonder why cancer is on the rise in the U.S. This is not necessarily an organic food movement, rather a movement towards truth. A yes vote on Prop 37 will push these corporations to tell us what they're feeding us. It'll make public whether a certain food has products that contain genetically modified organisms, or GMOs as they're more commonly referred to. And why is that a bad thing? Well, the big corporations will tell you that it'll increase your net costs at the grocery store. It'll increase government bureaucracy. It'll cause more frivolous lawsuits in an already sue-happy state. But this is all false. If this measure passes, the food companies must simply comply by adding the correct language to their labels before the foods hit our shelves at the grocery store, or else they'll be slapped with a fine by the state. And this is incidentally the bureaucracy that they want to avoid. You know, the guys at Monsanto, DuPont, Bayer, Kellogg, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever, and a whole laundry list of other companies. They want to avoid that. Well, don't let them. Hold their feet to the fire. Imagine this. These corporations would have to tell us what we're eating. They're afraid to tell us what they put into the food for fear that we'll stop buying their products. They're afraid that we'll affect their billions of dollars in profit margin by forcing them to use higher quality, real ingredients rather than fillers and other chemically, genetically altered Franken-food. This shouldn't and won't cost us. The consumer will cost no more money because in a free market economy, the mighty dollar will speak for us. A yes vote on Prop 37 will force these corporations to compete amongst each other and put better ingredients, better pricing. And if they have to spend more in using real ingredients, so be it. For far too long, these companies have been sacrificing our health, using us like lab rats for the sake of their profit margins. They genetically engineer everything. They have teams of scientists that they pour millions of dollars into research on how to make something look better, taste better, be bigger, make it more like the real thing. Well, how about this? Just stop making imitation food and give us the real stuff. Have you ever looked at the back of a can of Coke and saw a handful of ingredients and chemicals listed, and then they taper off to say something like, and other natural ingredients? Chances are, if a 7-year-old can't pronounce it, it probably isn't natural. Countries like China and Russia already have this type of truth in food labeling. Why shouldn't we? In fact, I don't understand why this isn't being voted on as a national matter of public health. In Los Angeles, our frequently at odds city council has already unanimously supported a yes vote on Prop 37. And that's coming from Tinseltown, the home of breast implants, nose jobs, lipo, and all other things false or genetically modified. That's saying something. So I'm speaking to you, California voters out there. On November 6th, I urge you to please vote yes on Prop 37. It is not going to cost you anything. This really boils down to truth in advertising, truth in food, and knowing what you're putting into your body. That's it for now. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week in the News Clinic. I'm Alina M. Lau. Have a good night.